Guys, this is Allie with Chaos Monkey, and I just wanted to do a quick unboxing for a new kit club that I decided to sign up for. And this is Annie's Carrying Crochet kit club, and basically it is for charity. So every month they send you a project for charity. The first month that you get will be for chemo caps, and the other club they had was the Hook and Needle Club, and I did that back in 2008. And I kind of found the patterns a little too simple, and you didn't really get the yarn that was worth the price, because I do believe it was almost around the same price as this one's going to be. And so I only did it for a couple of months and then moved on. But I decided to give this one a try because, you know, that was like 10 years ago. And basically, every month they give you a new charity project with the yarn and everything that's appropriate for that project, for that charity, and for the project. So the first month was 50% off, so it was, let me check my receipt, you guys. It was $9.99 plus $5.95 shipping. So the total for the first month is $15.94, so you can tell me if you think this is worth $15.94. But then it goes up to $19.99, $5.95 shipping, which goes up to $25.84, somewhere around there, which is almost $26 a month. So I'm kind of having a feeling it's going to be the same situation, where you just don't get your money's worth, really. But I thought this was a really cool concept, so I'd give it a try and see what they would send after the first month. So keep in mind, everybody gets the same kit the first month. They kind of give everybody the same kits in the same order. So it's not like a monthly thing where everybody gets whatever that month is. So everyone's going to get this one to start. So on your 50% off kit, we're all going to get this much yarn for $16, if you don't count shipping, for $10. Yeah, so I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know if this is going to be worth it. And they give you 5 free gifts, and here's the gifts. Oh, this is just cardboard they put in there. They give you a stitch guide, which, if I can get it out of here, is really a pamphlet. It's 1 page, and it just goes over basic stitches, front loop, back loop, chain, slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, front post, back post, treble, how to change your colors, that kind of thing. So it's pretty basic. Yarn weights on the back, and that's it. So that's considered a free gift. And then in here, they give you some crochet hooks. Whoops. So let me get these out of here. And this plastic baggy thing, and let me see, I want this to be able to focus on this. Let me put something white back here. This is the hooks. I don't know if it's going to focus on that, but you can see there's no brand name. They're very light. They are aluminum, but they're very light, so they don't feel like a brand name hook. And that head is kind of a boy head. It's not a Susan Bates. It's closer to a boy. Here, let me see if I have a boy hook somewhere in here. That's a Hiya Hiya. That's a Susan Bates. I don't want that one. Let's try this one. Is this one an old boy? Yeah, this isn't a boy hook, so you can kind of compare the heads. Try to keep the white behind it. So it's closer to a boy hook, it's just not as deep. And then here's, oops, that's a boy too. I thought I had a Susan Bates somewhere in here. Because I kind of use whatever I have on hand. But it looks like all I have is boy hooks. So you know it definitely doesn't look like a Susan Bates if you can crochet and if you're familiar with the hooks. Yeah, I totally don't have one in there. But the Susan Bates hooks have a different head. So that's why some people prefer a boy and some people prefer the Susan Bates. I'm more of a boy person, but I do use Susan Bates too, whatever's handy. And I don't know, it kind of depends on the project, which one works better. So this head is closer to the boy hooks, but the throat isn't as deep in. I can't get in there without it being blurry, but in here, it's a little deeper inside there for the real boy hooks. So they're okay. This one is in, I believe it is an H. This one is an I, my bad. And then they give you an I, a G, 4.25, and then a H. So HIG, which is the most common that you would probably need, especially if you're starting out. So if you're just starting out and you just kind of want a monthly kit club and you want to do a charity project, this is perfect. They're really light. They're lighter than a standard hook, but there's no burrs, which means it's very smooth. Sometimes the cheap hooks will have like rough parts. This doesn't. It's a little sticky, like a little residuey, but that's just from making it. It's not as smooth as maybe some of the brand name hooks, but I'm sure it's not going to be a problem, especially for a beginner if you have a little more grip. So they're decent hooks. They're not super cheap. They're not bad at all. They're usable, and it's always good to have extra hooks. I don't know, I'm kind of worried about how deep that throat is on the hooks, only because it seems a little shallow. Kind of like, I don't know, especially on that green one, and on the red one for that matter. I'm thinking my yarn might slip out a lot more than I'm used to. Because, again, here's the boys. See how it's completely in there? So I don't know, but most people have their own hooks, but I didn't really specify what the free gifts were. So these are them. You get 3 hooks, you get a tapestry needle, which seems to be okay. It's decent quality. It's pretty solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to bend or anything. The inside doesn't seem to be rough, but you can see it's a little rough in there. A little burry, like, rough metal burrs in there. But I don't think it'll be an issue, so it's okay. Like, if you don't have any hooks yet, or you don't have a preference yet, these might work for you. I might try one out just to see if it is kind of weird how it grabs the yarn or not, because the throat isn't as deep. But most people, like I said, have hooks, it's no biggie. But those are the free gifts. So you got this, and these is your 5 free gifts. So you can make of that what you will. And so then the actual pattern is chemo caps, and it's for Knots of Love, which they make a lot of chemo caps, and apparently according to this, which I can't read, started in 2007 for traumatic hair loss. Traumatic hair loss? Don't they mean like chemo? Volunteers lovingly knit and crochet caps for those struggling with treatment-induced hair loss. Yeah, there you go, that's better. And tiny neonatal blankets. So, yeah. So, at least they give you the information for the charity. They try to make sure that the yarn and everything meets the charity's requirements. Because sometimes they're very particular about what they can take and what they can't take. And they give us a basket weave cap by Becky Stevens, and a summer sorbet cap by, oh look, Edie Ekman. So you get 2 hats. Are they both knit? Both crochet? What are these guys? I'm assuming they're all crochet. Yeah, they're both crochet. Hence the crochet hooks, adore you. So I wasn't sure if maybe there was a knit pattern too, but They're both crochet. And the yarn is actually a brand name yarn. It's Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling. Very soft, very, very soft. So it is a really good yarn from Chemo Cap. At size 4, in the color Peacock. And what's the yardage on this guy? 203 yards, which should be enough for a hat. And then this one is, you might want to definitely do a gauge swatch because you could run out of yarn for a hat with just one ball like this. And this one is the same, Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling in Lagoon, size 4, and very, very soft. And this one has less yardage, 180, which is kind of common. Anytime you have a variegated versus a solid, they tend to give you less yarn because it costs more to process it. So yeah, so I'm kind of hoping I'm going to go ahead and make these, probably the pattern. I like doing patterns I haven't done before, and I don't think I've ever done a basket weave hat, that one. And they do have, let me make sure they have a decent gauge information in here. Yeah, they do. So try to make sure you hit your gauge. 16 stitches in 12 rows over 4 inches for the basket weave. Only for a 21 inch circumference. 21 to 22 is an average sized head. So I'm hoping, this one looks a little small with the variegated, because there is less yarn. So, I'd be interested to know if that was like an average size head out of that ball. But anyways, if I don't like it, I'll try the patterns. If I don't like it, or I don't think the hats are big enough, or my gauge was a little off, I can always combine the two into like a cool hat of some kind and still give it away. And they do give you the address, they do give you the charity information, and each month they say they'll feature a special organization with a passion for giving to those in need and making the recipients feel loved and cherished. It says, our kits are designed with patterns and yarn that meet the specifications of that featured charity. Once you have completed the project, you can simply mail it to the address we provide or look for a local chapter on their website. So yeah, I'm really curious. Again, everyone's going to get this one for their first month at the 50% off. So 2 balls of yarn. Whoops, knocked my camera over. 2 balls of yarn and 2 patterns with the 5 free gifts for after shipping for $5.94. Technically, before shipping, all of this was, I guess, falling under the $9.99 number, which I'm not sure how much these balls of yarn go for. Maybe $3 or $4. So that's $8, and then the 2 patterns, $5 each. That's $10, I guess, on average. So you know, this month seems to be okay with the money, getting your money's worth situation. But like I said, I'm really curious when it goes up to the $26 a month with shipping, or the $19.99 a month, if we're going to really be getting our money's worth, more or less. But if you love the convenience and if you're a new crocheter, that's great. If you don't mind paying that much to get whatever you get, and you're just doing it to get better at your crochet or to just have a charity project every month, you know, it's no big. You know, you get what you get and you'll enjoy it. For me, I just want to make sure that I kind of feel like I'm getting my money's worth every month. So again, they probably just made this kit a little smaller because it's your 50% off kit. So I have no idea what they're going to send next month, and hopefully it will be a little bit bigger of a project for the money. So I just wanted to kind of pop on and tell you guys before I got into this. You know, so far it seems pretty good. Seems okay. Like I said, the hooks are decent quality, especially if you're a new crocheter and you don't really have a preference yet. And you need hooks,